Welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on why Territorial Imperative is a bad perk and Dead by Daylight. Territorial Imperative has a very simple effect. When a survivor enters the basement while you're some distance away, that survivor's aura is revealed to you. It then goes on cooldown. Territorial Imperative is a terrible perk for many reasons. Primarily, it does not activate often. While there are a few reasons a survivor would enter the basement, these reasons happen seldom in a trial. There are a few survivor perks that interact with the basement, but most are mediocre at best and are otherwise outclassed by other perks or items. More often, a survivor may enter the basement to loot the chest inside, but there's only one chest, so once it's taken, that incentive is gone. The only good reason a survivor often has to enter the basement is to unhook another survivor trapped within, but even with that in mind, it can be difficult to make the perk work well. Because of how damning a basement hook can be, good survivors often try to avoid the basement when they're going down, preventing use of the perk. Even if you do manage to hook a survivor in the basement, Territorial Imperative doesn't really do much of anything. The perk features a minimum distance requirement to keep it from being used to safely camp a basement hook. If you're trying to camp the hook, you'll be too close for it to activate, and if you're far enough away, there's going to be a lengthy track to intercept that survivor. Moreover, if they're going for an unhook, there's going to be a visual notification shortly after the aura reveal. It becomes redundant. Not only is the perk weak on its own, but it may be somewhat outclassed. Human Greed provides brief aura reading on survivors who come close to an unopened chest. While Human Greed is by no means an excellent perk on its own, I would argue it somewhat outclasses Territorial Imperative. Because there's always a chest in the basement, the activation conditions between the two perks are similar. However, there are usually at least two other chests in the trial unless you, as the killer, bring a cut coin offering, meaning that Human Greed has more application through the trial grounds. Moreover, due to the fact that Dead by Daylight effectively has no y-axis, Human Greed can trigger through different floor levels, including that of the basement. In contrast, Territorial Imperative only triggers if survivors enter the basement. While survivors can open chests to deactivate Human Greed, it does make the perk act as some form of slowdown, as survivors may wish to ensure that their aura is not revealed at inopportune times. As a result of similar yet broader application, I would make a case that Human Greed is a better alternative. The perk is themed around Huntress and her staking of her domain. I would buff the perk to permanently reveal the auras of survivors while they're in the basement instead of a temporary reveal akin to Blood Warden revealing survivors in the exit gate. This provides much stronger information for the killer to know what survivors may be doing in the basement, being it healing, leaving, or invoking. While this would negatively impact some already weak perks like invocations, I feel that's more of a condemnation on their utility rather than a statement on how strong aura reading in the basement is. On top of this, Territorial Imperative features a new function of revealing the aura of a survivor who unhooks another survivor. This fits the perk's themes of defending one's turf while providing a much more ubiquitous effect. This can be used to track survivor movement from afar to be able to better interrupt heals, as well as providing passive pressure to deter survivors from sticking around in one spot for too long. These effects are all contingent on the killer keeping their distance, both to deter a camping playstyle while also feeding into the theme of having a sixth sense that something is awry. Thanks for watching, leave a like, and put your thoughts in the comments below.